One of the hardest times to trust yourself is after you've been wrong before. When people don't trust themselves, it's not a lack of intuition. It's really just your body is recognizing something that was conditioned, something that was familiar, and all the disappointment, all the pain that we carry our bodies through, that's the first recognition. So it's really rebuilding and restoring self-trust again and reprogramming our nervous system to feel safe and letting our body regulate safety instead of fear, instead of distrust or lack of love for ourselves, because we have been programmed to be this way. And now is a time for us wanting change for ourselves, wanting to do better, especially in this new year, the year of the horse that's coming up in 2026 is initiating your own goals. And even Aries going into Saturn, the energy with that is you want to do things for yourself. And in order to do that, you have to trust yourself to regulate that power of authority to go through things and actually take initiative. So it's really important to recognize that trust is built, and we were conditioned growing up where, you know what, it's not our fault. It's not our fault that it happened. So this is where forgiveness happens. One of the courses I love teaching is the rebirthing course, where you sit with the pain you're in, you sit with what's happening now, and you just go to the moment where it happened and you forgive yourself. You forgive yourself for experiencing what happened to you. And from there, it automatic forgives the other person that helped cause it. And it's really going back to your mother's womb, because again, we did not expect that life is gonna life, right? And we all come here with soul contracts and things that we have to go through life. And it's part of the human experience, is going through what you have to work through, what you have to recognize so that you can graduate from what we call life, the game of life. And it's part of the fun, it's part of, learning these experiences and asking yourself, okay, this is where I can meet myself now. How can I go through it? Thinking that way, shifting your mindset where everything all happens for a reason. I understand that self-trust is conditioned, and this is where you have the power to change that. Come into awareness with what's happening around your own mind, your own body, when you want to set big goals for yourself. You want big changes. You want to create this safety net within the body. We tell ourselves that we're not sure because it's something that we've always experienced through life, where, things always happen, or things are always happening to me. I always say, stop being the victim of the situation and make an outcome out of it. Learn from it, build from it, grow from it. And this is where we learn. This is where the changes can happen, and we can create self-trust by actually just wanting to do it. Internally, blaming yourself for something that was a cause and effect, you're just going to keep living through the cycle over and over and over and over. It's the same thing as relationships. We tend to have a pattern of dating the same type of relationships. You realize that I don't want this pattern anymore. I don't want this type of relationship anymore. And this is where you decide you want change. But in order for that to happen, we have to recognize that, this pattern is no longer serving me. How can I change it? So this is where you can write down in a journal on what you want, create what the vision you want for your next relationship. And this is where you start to attract the type of relationship you want, and you start to heal from, the abandonment that you felt you were dealing with within yourself, because you had abandonment all your life. So now you carried it on to your relationship. So now the self-trust creates love, it creates nurturing, it creates compassion, and you stop abandoning yourself. And this is where you can create the nervous system to regulate safety within your own self, because now you're not abandoning yourself. And this is where you're able to attract people in your lives that won't abandon you, because you trust yourself enough to stay here, stay present, allowing your mind or allowing your subconscious to recognize a pattern that you want to outgrow. You want change, you want trust, you want love, you want the highest prosperous life, and you want to meet yourself where this is the best version of yourself, right? So this is where we take this condition that we have been programmed into our system to release, to let go, and just face it. When you can face it, you recognize what's happening within your nervous system, what's creating it, and what pattern is coming in. And it's just all about being clear. It's about letting go of the fear and actually wanting it. And this is where, when you sit in stillness, when you slow down in life, you start to recognize your own body. You start to recognize what's happening, why it's happening. And this is where change can happen. And it just starts with trusting yourself, trusting your human evolution, that everything's all going to work out. And it always will. Experiences are all layered into our electromagnetic field, and it becomes this onion. So the healing process is like healing the layers of the onion. You know, when you cut through the onion, you're going to start to cry, and then it becomes bitter. And at some point, the onion actually is sweet, because it's the part of that fragrance, it's part of that taste that you want to experience, right? The sweetness of your life. And you have to go through the bitterness, you have to go through the crying to evolve to your best version of yourself. Things that we go through life is a part of what our story is going to be. And we have that chance now, if you recognize what's happening, because you do want change, because who doesn't? Who doesn't want change? We start to evolve and start to embody what we want by regulating it back into our system. And this is where the layer of the nervous system works. You release the broken, you release the fear, you release the anger, you release the insecurities, you release all of that. And now you have an empty vessel. Now you start to imprint love, imprint abundance, imprint everything that you want, happiness, bliss. Put that into your frequency, and then from there it starts to expand. And it's all just energy. It's really energy, and we have the power to do so, because you just tell your mind where you want to go with this direction, and the mind's going to do the work for you. You can't let the mind control you, but you can tell the mind what you want to do, and then telling your mind the direction that you want to go, and it will go. And that's the key, is you can't let the mind control you, because the mind is absorbing everything from the world, from the environment, from the TV you're watching, the music you're listening, the thoughts you're hearing, the people gossiping around you. But the key is letting that all release, and then you come inward and know that I, as a human being, can control my mind to tell my mind what to do. And this is where you create trust, because you now are the conductor of your own life. You're not letting someone else control your life. You're able to navigate this part of you through life. You and your soul, your spirit, it's a connection. And this is where the mind, body, and soul is all connected into your ecosystem. But your soul is what's leading the show, which you have to connect to. And that's what we forget, is we forget that our soul has always been here. So there's no need to go soul searching. All you have to do is go inward, because it's here. And self-trust is not about getting it right. And it's not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. You're going to allow things to happen. And when it happens, this is where you have the chance to learn from it, grow from it, expand from it, and create from it. And that's the beauty of life, is the creation. And we forget that we all have a consciousness, we all have awareness, and we have this gift to really let it regulate in our body and choose that I can live in peace by just slowing down, by just trusting myself and allowing myself to be the embodiment of what I want to share with the world, by just loving myself first, by giving myself the compassion, by unconditionally forgiving myself for what's happening, and stop being the victim of your own life and let things just flow. And this is where ease comes and all the disease breaks through and leaves you. And that's how people start to get sick, is we're suppressing so much energy, so much fear into our body that it starts to get stuck because we're not moving with the flow and we're not flowing. This is where sickness happens. You know, we start to get depressed. We start to internalize fear and live with it. Then this is where you're actually having this choice to live the best version of yourself and what experience you want to amplify. What experience do you want to grow and come into life? And it's just treating yourself with respect and not punishing yourself for making mistakes and allowing everything to just be at ease, right? And less self-betrayal and more worth and more self-love, and start speaking highly of yourself. Instead, just say, I am beautiful, I am loved, and let that live in your body and let that imprint in you. And trust starts to return to yourself the moment you tell yourself that I'm learning and it's okay. And the learning part is creating the trust in how you want to experience life.